What number am I on now? I can't remember, I'm going to have to watch it back.
Oh no.
Hi everyone, welcome to our Crazy Life Scotland. It's Fiona here and I've got another tag video for you. I have been tagged by the lovely Rachel at Bales1986SW and the tag this time is my 5 top tips for staying on track in October. Most of these tips are relevant all year round. The only one I could think of that was probably specific to October is number 1, which is when you're buying the trick or treat treats, not easy to say, make sure that you buy low sin treats that are also suitable for you to eat, and that way if there's any left over you know that you can have them and you can count them within your sins. Also make sure that they're out of reach until Halloween. Maybe have them high up somewhere so that you're not going to go and nibble on them when you're not supposed to. And also on Halloween itself, what I tend to do is I make sure that I have no sins through the day so that when it does come to night and the sweets are there in front of me, I've got plenty of sins to play with if I'm tempted. This can also be a good time to top up on treats for the future as well, if you're the type of person who can leave them alone knowing that they're in the house, because all of the snack size, treat size sweets that are out at this time of year for trick-or-treating are ideal low sin treats because of the size of them. So I tend to stock up on extra at this time, so when it's back to full size sweets in the shops, I've still got a stash of the mini treats that are decent sins for me to eat in the future. So that's tip number 1 from me. Number 2, and to me this is the most important of them all, is social media, especially YouTube. YouTube is the one thing that keeps me on track all the time. Even when I'm going off track, YouTube helps me get back on it. And that's because there are so many inspiring people on here. It's unbelievable. I don't really want to mention people in case I forget people, but there are specific people who have how many times am I going to say people? But there are specific YouTubers who have kept me on track in the past and are so inspirational, especially Debbie from Debbie's World. She just is unbelievable. You know, if you watch my videos that I've spoken about Debbie before, she's just such an inspiration. She's always on plan. She's got so many recipes out there that if I'm ever struggling, Debbie's one of the people that I turn to. Also Jane Day. Jane Day has been at Target now for so long and she's just full of words of wisdom. She doesn't mince her words. She says it like it is, and if you need a damn good talking to, she'll give you it. She is amazing. She's so good, but she's so nice with it. I've never been offended watching her videos, even when I've thought, you know, things that she's saying, that's relevant to me. And I thought, well, you know what, she's right though in what she's saying. So Debbie's World and Jane Day, I will link their channels below, although I'm sure you already watch them. But there's so many other people for different reasons. Debbie's great for recipes and for what I eat in a day, but also the lovely Rachel who tagged me in this, she's fantastic for finding low sin treats. So there's so many different things that different YouTubers offer. The Budget Slimmers, Kath and Laura, they're amazing because if money's a bit tight, follow them, they'll give you top tips. Fantastic. So YouTube is always my go-to if I need any inspiration or help in any way. Not only watching the videos, but all of these people are so happy to help you out. If you message them, if you comment, they'll always get back to you, and they're there on hand to help you. Also Instagram is great. I'm really bad for Instagram, I have to say. I've got so much going on that I don't go on Instagram as much as I should, but if Instagram's your thing, then it's fantastic for recipe ideas. I don't tend to post on Instagram because I can't make my food look pretty. And anytime I try to put a recipe or a meal up on there, it just looks like a plate of yuck. So I don't tend to post very often. However, I do look on there to get brilliant ideas because other people manage to make their dinners look so good, even when it's a simple recipe. So YouTube and Instagram and also Facebook, there's loads and loads of different groups on Facebook who will help you with Slimming World. You don't need to be a member, just type in Slimming World on Facebook and there's so many that you can join, and they are really helpful as well. So yeah, top tip number 2 is use social media, helps you keep on track. Top tip number 3 is write things down. Something that I've not always been good at, but I'm getting better at it, and I showed this in my last video, my nice wee notepad that I got from B&M. And I'm finding this so useful just now. I don't tend to write down what I eat in a day or my sins, although maybe I should. I'm generally quite good at remembering what I've had. But what I have found really useful is writing down if I see someone on YouTube doing a really great recipe, I'll write down the recipe that I want to try and whose channel I saw it on. Or I'll also save it to my playlist as well, but I do think it helps to write it down. When I'm watching Rachel's Friday Finds, I write down all the different low-sin treats that she's found, recipes that I've tried and that I really want to make again, because so many times in the past I've tried recipes and thought, oh, they're brilliant, but now I can't remember what they were. So definitely writing things down is another good tip. If you're the type of person who likes to write down what you've eaten, doing food diaries, then great. I know that helps to keep a lot of people on track. Personally, I don't do it because it makes me feel like I'm on a diet, and I know I am, but I don't like to feel like I am. I know it sounds crazy. Tip number 3, and this is one that everybody comes up with for a very good reason. It's so important to be prepared. Like a good Boy Scout, always be prepared. And again, this can be in a number of ways. It can be if you know that you've got a big day out coming up, make sure that you've got food prepared to take with you. When I was away at Mull on Saturday, I took fruity couscous for my breakfast. I took some cold meat, some boiled egg, some fruit, some low-sin treats, and that really does help to keep you on plan. But also, I think batch cooking is good preparation, especially for me, because I know that I get fatigued quite a lot, and when I'm fatigued I really can't be bothered cooking, so I tend to like to have things in the freezer. So if I'm not well, it's just a case of taking it out the freezer and throwing it in the oven or throwing it in the microwave. So that's another way that it's good to be prepared. Also, in being prepared is thinking ahead to what meals you're going to do next week, what ingredients you're going to have to get from the shop. If there's a specific meal that you've got in mind, think ahead to when you go shopping, what do I need to get to make sure that I've got everything, because there's nothing worse than going to make something that you've been really looking forward to and thinking, oh, I didn't get the tinned tomatoes or whatever else. That's not really a very good example, because most of us have always got tinned tomatoes in, but you know what I mean, you get the idea. Tip number 5. Now, you might be looking at me thinking, you're a good one to be giving us tips, Fiona. You just recently struggled and put a little bit of weight on. And yes, you're right, I did. So tip number 5 to me is, if you do have a little slip up, get straight back up, dust yourself off and get straight back on it again. The way I like to look at it is, if I fall off the wagon, I don't set the horse free, chop up the wagon and set it on fire. What I do is I get up, I make sure the horse is okay, and I jump straight back on the wagon again and carry on my journey. In other words, don't say to yourself, oh well, I've slipped up now, I'm as well just carrying on, I'll start again on Monday. You know, this might only be Tuesday. Don't even say I'll start again tomorrow. Just say to yourself, right, okay, that was silly, I shouldn't have eaten that. Next thing I eat is going to be back on plan. And that really does help me, because in the past I used to do the whole, oh, I've messed it up now anyway, I'm just going to eat what I want. And then I would go on a major binge, then I would feel awful, and then I wouldn't feel worth it, and then I would think, what's the point? And it's just a really bad downward spiral. So what I do now, as a top tip, is if you do have a little mistake, or if it's a deliberate mistake, if everybody else is out there having a dessert and you don't want to feel left out, you really want that dessert, then have it. But get straight back onto plan again after it. Don't worry about the fact that you've been over sins there, because eating more sins isn't going to help. getting straight back on it again is the best way to go about it. So that's my top tips for staying on plan in October. I know it's a tag video, but I'm very behind on all my vlogs just now, and I do think that most people have been tagged, so I don't want to tag anyone who's been tagged before. What I will say is, anybody who watches this and would like to take part in the tag, please do. Don't be shy. I'm loving the fact that I'm getting tagged in videos now, and so will you. So if you do feel like doing this video and joining in, please do so. And that's how we all become a big community. Right, I'm going to head off now. I'll see you all soon. See you later. Bye!